Alright trippers, so it's been about 6 months since Kim and Tony, I did a review with them on the purchase of the Marlu Signature caravan camper, and they'd had it for 6 months when I did the initial interview with them, and you'll see that review on our channel. So as promised in that review, I said that I was going to come back to them after a period of time and see if anything had actually changed and how were their thoughts after that period of time. So, Kim and Tony, thanks for joining again and sharing your thoughts. So, as I said, it's now been 6 months since our initial review of the camper that you'd had for 6 months at that time. So, has anything happened? Have the company contacted you?
Yes, they did contact us. We got a telephone call from a gentleman called Matt. He'd just taken over or opened up in Sydney, I think at the time, at a camping show, a caravan camping show. He contacted us after seeing your review and wanted to help rectify the issues that we had.
Fantastic. So, from my understanding as well, when you had initially purchased this, which is 12 months ago now, there wasn't actually a showroom in Melbourne or Victoria at all, was there?
No.
So that actually made things quite difficult initially.
Yep.
And so then he, as you said, just opened a showroom in Victoria. How long ago would that be now?
Well, it was probably not long after.
Not long after we
did
had done the review.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. So it's probably been there maybe about 5 months now.
Yeah.
Okay. And so what was he like to deal with? How receptive and responsive was he?
He was brilliant.
It's been good.
He's been really good. It's
Followed through on most things he said he'd do.
Yep.
So yep, and he's kept us in the loop. Bit of communication, which makes a bit of difference. Which we stated
That's
in our
all.
previous video that communication is lubrication. At least he's taken the time to acknowledge there's some issues and has gone above and beyond to keep us in the loop with everything that's going on. So
Fantastic.
hats off to Matt. Thanks, mate.
Yeah,
Been good.
yeah, that's really, really good, and that's what, as you said, that's what we addressed was one of the biggest problems initially.
Yeah.
So okay, so why don't you walk us through what was the actual problems and what have they been able to do to rectify them?
Well, a lot of the problems were really cosmetic. There's been probably 2 major issues, but a lot of cosmetic problems, which we had a massive dent in the ensuite door, and the door wouldn't close properly. There was a cupboard in the ensuite that we just couldn't close. The latch was, it just wasn't working. What else do we have? Oh, the Sikaflex above the bed was quite messy, and you know, it was just little things like you pay a lot of money and you expect to have a quality finish, and we just felt that the Sikaflex was something that could have quite easily been rectified.
The dent in the door hasn't been fascia there, which hasn't been fixed yet.
But Matt's
It's
working
been
on it.
acknowledged,
Yes. We had some of the laminate on the sides of the bed, the units that lift up, that had started coming off. It just started peeling back. So really, a lot of cosmetic things. Matt has been fantastic in getting all of those fixed. A brand new door on the ensuite, fixed the latch, still sourcing the fascia for the kitchen, the dent in the kitchen.
Yeah.
Cleaned up the Sikaflex. Now the other issue, the major one we had, was the swaying of the van, but we've been working through that, getting advice from Matt and from Signature about our weight distribution. Tony did some work on the water tanks. What did you do with that, Tony?
Isolated the water tank so the water doesn't slosh around. I filled the front tank to keep the water at the front of the van rather than the back of the van.
Yep. And sorry, did you say they're now making them with isolation
I think
tanks?
they are.
Well, yeah, we can't confirm on that, but
ours didn't have one, so I put an
Yep.
isolating valve in there to stop the water moving around
Yep.
while we're travelling.
yeah, which is fantastic. Again, if that's the case, they've listened to what people are saying and feedback, and they're actually altering their design to be fit for purpose, which is really awesome.
And I
in a
think they've
company
moved
to
the
do.
axles back on the later models a couple of inches back to try
Right.
and get more weight coming to the front of the van.
Yep. Perfect.
yeah.
That's
Yeah, I'm,
fantastic.
Yeah.
It really instills a lot of confidence
It
in
does.
dealing with a company that are listening and are responding to people's requirements.
Yeah,
And
100%.
we're letting go a bit to get more weight up the front.
Yep.
So it's just trial and error with that.
Yep.
The tyres are worn in. I keep reading if the tyre could wear in. They do. They still tend to float a bit. I've had to drop the tyre pressure down to 44, 45. Depending on what article you read, it varies between 55 to 45. Ours seems to ride really good on the road at 45 psi. So that's one for us.
That's really, really good to know. And, you know, we will reiterate as well, we understand every van company that comes out new will all have their little issues, but it's how they're dealt with that makes the difference.
Yep.
And it's just brilliant to know that they've listened and
Matt from Pakenham, the new showrooms in Pakenham in Victoria, and he has just been, I cannot speak highly enough of the service that he's given us. And like you said, every van's going to have the issues. It was more the lack of communication. We were a little bit disappointed at the start because, like I said, we'd spent quite a bit of money. It was a big purchase for us, and we just wanted some answers, and we weren't getting any answers. And we understand that they were quite busy, and I get that. But since Matt's been on the scene, it's just done a complete 360, hasn't it?
Yeah.
That's fantastic to hear. And I believe you've just noticed a new potential issue, which I don't know whether you brought up with Matt or not, as well, about some leaking in the front boot. Is that
We
new?
haven't actually. Well, this trip we've opened up the front boot, and it was wet, so it was quite wet in there, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So we haven't actually really looked into that at the moment. We haven't brought that up
fair
with
enough,
Matt.
Fair enough.
But
That
that
could be simple as a seal.
Yeah.
We haven't
But
explored that.
you know, the main thing is coming out of the showroom as to how it was presenting and having to be dealt with the issues has been a massive step up on the company as a whole. So that's awesome to hear.
Yep.
And you guys are in the plans for a really big trip with it next year. So
Correct.
that is going to be fantastic to see
Yeah.
how everything holds up with that.
And getting back to the sway issue, like we will take on board as well. We are learning how to stack the van. And to be honest, we don't pack a lot of stuff, but just working out where the weight should go. And we have a diesel heater that we need to fit. That will probably be one of the last things that we'll need. And once we have that done, we are going to have it professionally weighed and get them to tell us where we should be
Amazing.
putting weight. And
Yep.
I mean, that's on us, and we're happy to do that. 'Cause
Yeah.
we want to feel safe.
That's great, and that's really important for people to understand. It's not just about buying a van, hooking it up, and off you go.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
do need to have that understanding and knowledge about your weight distribution, and that's a really responsible thing that you're doing, making sure that you're getting everything that you plan to actually travel with done first,
Yep.
and then you can get your professional weights and,
Yeah,
and checks as
100%.
well, which is great, guys. That's
Yeah.
really awesome. So it's a real win so far,
It
which
is a
is great.
win. We've
Yep.
got one more issue that we're bringing up with, Matt knows, but this anti-flap system we will never use again, ever.
It is the biggest heap of shit I've ever seen in my life.
It's terrible,
It is.
but it is
Yeah.
frustrating.
That end took
and
1 minute, that end took 1 hour, and we still haven't got it on properly.
And
It
that's
just
after
separates.
watching tutorials on
Yep.
apparently how to use them.
Yep.
They aren't a Signature product, but it was the product that Signature was selling
Yes.
with the caravan. But as you said, Matt is onto it, and they are working to get that
yes.
changed and
Well,
designed.
they are looking at a different product, I believe. So.
They are shit.
Yeah, it's
That's all I
it's
can
not
say.
user friendly. We
That's the nicest thing I can say.
It was actually
I'd like to
very
meet the bloke that
frustrating.
designed them.
Well, it's probably best you don't
And I
meet
would
the bloke
insert
that
one of his
designed
little
him.
clips in
Okay,
somewhere.
yeah, right.
Okay.
Yep, that's good. Thank you. But otherwise, when you can get them into place, I really love the way that you guys have set this up this time around too. So this caravan comes with a full annex, but probably realistically these guys and most people are never going to use the full annex potentially, but as you'll be able to see over here with the outdoor kitchen, it's used constantly and it's a brilliant setup that we talked about on the initial review of this van, and with the fridges there. So actually using the annex sidewall there is fantastic to make it a real all-weather usable space. So that's most definitely going to get used, and most definitely is something that needs to be addressed so that the anti-flap kit can actually work properly, so that the annex wall will slide into it properly. So as we said, again, wraps to mat, they're trying to source it and a new product and fix it, but in the interim, the one that it comes with
is what we're
not very
working
good.
with, but not good.
Yeah, but
It is what it is.
it is what it is.
Yeah.
So yeah, great. Good job. Thanks, guys. Well, hopefully now you've got the full information and the full story as promised, and you can make your own decisions. If you've got any comments or you'd like to add anything, or maybe ask Kim and Tony any questions that they may have, drop us a line in the comments below and we'll make sure we pass it on. Thanks, guys.
So that looks like it's locked in.
Yeah. So it pulls out straight away.
Yeah. Now, to me, that should be right. The canvas is going in that groove, yes?
Yeah.
That is going in the groove, which all looks fine until you start tightening up the screws.
It just pulls out. See?
Yeah.
Pulls away, straight away.
So what are we doing wrong? Take two. Different piece.
Do we come down more? Do we go there?
Well, the YouTube video said you could have a bit of overhang, but no, it's come out again straight away.
There's got to be a better fucking way. Why doesn't this click in? Does it? There's too much canvas for it to click in.
It's what?
There's too much canvas for it to click in.
Okay, we didn't have a lot of success up this end. We've only managed to get one bar to hold the canvas down. We have no clue why we couldn't get those top bars to grab. If we didn't put the canvas in between that top bar and the bottom bar with the screws on, it actually grabbed. As soon as we put the canvas in, it won't grab. We managed to get the bars under. And this end was a completely different story. These guys grabbed no problems. They were done 2.4 seconds. But the other end, seriously, we've been working on it for about 45 to an hour, I would say, with still no success. I think the most frustrating part is that there is not one piece of instruction. There's some numbers on bars, some with no numbers at all. We've been watching YouTube videos. We've practiced before we came out. We thought we had it. It's a nightmare. We absolutely hate this anti-flap kit, and this will be the last time we are using it. There is not a hope in hell we're setting this up again.